Hey guys, so if you saw my non-spoiler review on the Orville, you'll know how much I loved it. I couldn't stop talking about it. So if you definitely haven't seen the show, then check out my non-spoiler review first. So Grace joined me for the review, and ever since then, I have been nagging her constantly to watch it. Like every single day, I was like, watch it, watch it, watch it. And she finally has. Thank God. So this is going to be Grace's reaction to the first season of The Orville, and if you guys enjoy this, then perhaps we'll do one for the next two seasons as well. So this will have spoilers. So if you haven't seen the show, then stop here and give the show a go. I promise you, I guarantee you, you will enjoy it. There's something in there for everybody. So I'm gonna hand this over to Grace now, but before I do, please do make sure to like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. And for Grace, I'm so happy that you finally watched it. I hope you'll enjoy all three seasons as much as I did, and pretty much a lot of people have enjoyed it as well. Like from the comments from the non-spoiler review, loads of people liked it. So, you know. But yeah, over to you, Grace.
Yeah, so yeah, guys, I when I started this show, I realized that this is something you would not regret because this is actually a pretty awesome show. Because it kind of reminds me of like Star Trek, though I haven't seen it. No offense to those, but it had some similarities about aliens, UFOs, like the color coding and the fashion styles, but which is pretty good by the way. But it had its own unique style. The author, like the humor is really good. The characters are pretty interesting as well, and yeah, the story is really good. It keeps going, keeps it very steady. Doesn't very go loose, like doesn't go over the top. It keeps it really basic, which is what I really like. So the main story is about Ed, who wants to be the captain of the OVO, which is a, a special rocket, I think. And apparently he gets to work with his ex-wife who cheated on him, which we see in the beginning of episode one with a blue alien, which is very weird, but that's what I just knew instantly what this show was going to be like, involving like aliens and stuff. So so later on the show does go on and we get to meet new characters who I really liked like over time. So besides Kelly, there's Isaac, who's a robot, and he's really funny as well. Like he doesn't because he's not human, he doesn't get social, like not like social ideas, or like, so he doesn't get interaction. So it's pretty interesting to see how he communicates with the others. And because I remember this one episode, Ed's best friend and pilot, Gordon, who is really funny as well, he was trying to teach Isaac how to do pranks on each other. And in one episode, Isaac decided to like cut off Gordon's leg as a joke. I mean,
I was waiting for you to see that moment. I was waiting.
I was like, Jesus Christ, how far would that go? Oh,
Did you? Oh, I want to say something, but I'm not sure if it happened in season two or season three. I don't want to
I'll
say
tell you what, I'll try to remember as
it.
much.
Okay.
So there's other characters. There's Otis. He's also an interesting guy, and he became very he kind of became the main attention in the first few episodes, which is quite interesting. And what I want to talk about that later. But yeah, he's good. And there's Alara, and I think she's gonna be my favorite throughout this season because she's a very strong character, and I don't mean like mentally strong, I mean like she's physically strong as well. And yeah, she's pretty interesting. I like she's just a pretty cool. I wish I would be friends with her. And then there's Dr. Claire. She's a good doctor, and yeah, I like her as well. Who else? There's John, who's also a very sarcastic character like Gordon, and he's pretty cool. And who else? Yeah, I think that, well, there's Kelly, the ex-girlfriend, who I wanted to hate her because of like what she did to Ed in the beginning. And then she sort of grew on me, and Emily told me she grew on you, Emily, as well. So I mean there was times I was like, she's right. I mean, I hate to admit it, but she's right sometimes. But at the same time, I feel like I mean, she's a bit of a hypocrite or a bit of a it just feels like she's just a bit of a noxious person. I don't know how to describe it, but there's just some parts I just didn't like her really, if that makes sense. It's like your parents, you know they're right, but you hate to admit that they're right. It's kind of like that feeling, like want to you don't want to like them, but you have to admit they're right. Is that kind of thing. So each episode it's really good. I think one of the ones that really surprised me is that to start off, I think it was in episode 4 when the crew reached opposed to a big gigantic ship that has a farm or a field and a civilization inside. And near the end we get to learn they were actually saying they think there was a god, but apparently it was like someone who kind of led the ship. And what I find out was so shocking was that there was an actor who in it, and I was like, what? I mean, they actually involved actual big celebrities in this show, and I'm like, holy So it was
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. Yeah, I was not expecting him to appear. I mean, I was just thinking, oh my god, we're bringing Star Wars into this now. I'm like, oh my god. Because I was not expecting that. And there's more in the episode 5 Pyre. Wait, it was a no prior, sorry. And it had
Charlize Theron.
Charlie, yeah. I know it's Charlie, I just forgot the last name. So yeah, I mean, I knew there was gonna be more celebrities coming in, but I wasn't expecting big names, you know? So it took me by surprise, but it was quite a good surprise, if that makes sense. So what I also like in this show is that while it was funny and it's a very enjoyable, they do take on serious matters and try to approach them. So in episode 2 when Ed and Kelly got kidnapped by a very high species and get kept in a cage and being only to be few at. And I just thought, oh my god, this is kind of like animals in zoos. And it's really weird seeing it from a human's perspective as being caged. It really, really hit me hard to think that. And it got even more not darker, but very serious. They got to the next episode where Bortis was talking about changing gender for his newborn baby. I'm like, oh my god, and it's true. Some people do that. Maybe for babies who might be unhealthy, but sometimes they're still trying to get kids to be genders that they want them to be. And it's just so difficult to think about it, and it's sometimes difficult to talk about it these days because it's just so dark to just trying to keep getting a conversation, you know. So it's really strange. And there was these crazy, not crazy, but very dangerous creatures called the Kree, and who in episode 6 we see
Wait, hold on, Grace. It's not the Kree. It's the Krill.
Krill.
You're thinking of Marvel.
I'm sorry. Okay, scratch that. So so there's these dangerous creatures called the Krill, who do kind of remind me of the Kree from Marvels because they both look very reptile like. And so in episode 6 we see Ed and Gordon disguise themselves as the Kree, and so they can try to look through and see what they're like. And I just think the way they kind of portray, or the way how they portray the Kree kind of reminds me like how we see other cultures, because I know in history there's been so many wars or terrorists based on people's beliefs and everything, and I just think, god, this is kind of like that. How this is kind of reflecting us back away. As much as it is very enjoyable show, it's very educational as well. So and just makes me think about who's right or who's wrong, because in that episode both sides were wrong. It was wrong to kill people as well, but it's also wrong to kill the same, because it's a two side of a coin really. And there was also kids in the Kree ship, so Gordon and Ed had to decide if they're gonna have to kill destroy the ship, they will have to kill the kids as well, and that makes them bad as them. So, oh, honestly, it's a very it really makes you question your own humanity in a way. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just so much to think about. God,
I think that's said perfectly. I think that's said perfectly. So much to think
yeah.
about.
And then there's another episode like right after the Kree, and it's a that the next episode kind of reminds me of like this like a Twilight Zone thing. So it's like basically like a 21st century world where everyone gets badges and you get voted whether you get good or bad, or you get voted up or voted bad. If you get voted bad, you get like mental treatment. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I expect like in a show like that, obviously there's gonna be like maybe a few kills or a few deaths, but I would not expect it to be like something like this, like a Twilight, some mental craziness. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like something that something that's kind of like what we do in civilization, but they take it to the next level, like they take it too far, and that is just insane. So again, it focuses on like people's choice or people's voice of opinion, and it's oof. One other thing I really like about each episode is that they do kind of focus on each character sometimes. Like in the first couple, I said like they focus on Bortis like story, and then they focus on some of the like other characters and like how what they're like on the ship or how they interact. So I think that's pretty good. Like they don't always focus on like the main character, like Ed or Kelly, whatever, but they also focus on like other crew members, which is great because they're all part of the team. They're all very special. So I think my favorite one or my most funniest one is episode 9 called Cupid's Dagger. So in this one we get to see the alien Kelly cheated with behind Ed's back. So it's what's his name? His name is Bob
Derulio.
Duilio, yeah. Sorry. So he's the blue alien. And apparently in this episode, like we later learn that his alien race, they when they're in heat, they sometimes release kind of like the scent to make people feel sexually attracted to each other. Kind of reminds me of an incubus, to be honest, which is like a succubus but male. Anyway, so there's some weird things happening in this episode. So not only like we get to see Kenny and Ed fight over for the alien, we also see like this slime creature called Yad. How do you pronounce it?
Yaphet.
Yaffid, yeah. Because Yaffid, he always had this thing for Dr. Claire. But then when Dr. Claire got infected, she started seducing him. And then we get to the weirdest scene I ever. My God. Oh, them two, I'm like, just, I mean, I've seen some weird slime creatures before, like on television or manga, something like that. But I never imagined what would be like between that and a human, or how they interact. I'm like, oh my God. I tell you what, that kept in my mind for hours today. So it's probably gonna keep me all night now, just because now I'm just wondering how would that work or how would it
Stop thinking about it too much.
I know I don't want to think about and then yeah and so I think over time the series gets like better and more interesting. The one thing that really kind of pulls me apart is like Kelly, because as much she's grown to be a very good character, at the beginning I feel like I want to hate her because she like after a year of like their divorce, like Ed and Kelly, I feel like she should have left in and not trying to interfere with his life again after he spent a year trying to forget her, trying to like get over her, and why he finally get the job. She's trying to just jump back in and trying to join his life again. I mean, girl, leave him alone. You broke his heart. Now leave him alone. I mean, I get it. She was lonely. She wanted someone to feel comfort with. But if you felt like that, you should have like talked to Ed or like get a divorce. Don't cheat behind his back. I mean, that was awful. And I get it, she was trying to do it from a good place, but still, I mean, I just felt like she was a bit too pushy, you know? Like she even sent a word to their main captain to so Ed could be the captain of the sorry, so Ed could be the captain of the Orville. So, I mean, she does become a good friend to the others, but in the end, I just feels like, and they actually kiss or trying to do a second date in the last episode. I just feel like, no, this is not gonna get like it's not gonna end well. Because maybe you'll go out again and she probably is gonna stay behind or something. And to be honest, I didn't know what she was doing back when they were married. Like, what was she? What was she, a housewife and waiting for him, or was she a captain as well, or a first officer? I don't like. What was she doing? And it's just, I mean, I do kind of appreciate her as professionally, but I just think she's just a bit too tangled for me to handle. Oh, I just realized that rhymes. So yeah, and in the end, I think Kelly does leave, and I think that's actually the best choice because their relationship was going to be messy. We just all knew it was going to be quite a bit complicated. So I think she should have left Ed ages ago and just let him try to move on with his life instead of trying to get stuck with the past. So I'm really excited for season 2 now because I want to see how this goes. Because I got a feeling there's going to be new aliens, new adventures, and I
You
don't
could
know
say
why,
all
but
of that again. There's so much
I
coming.
got a feeling we're going to see more of the Cree because I remember in that
The
episode
the krill.
the cruise.
I'm sorry, but
Cree,
you've been saying the
Krill.
krill
Sorry,
for
sorry. I'm a huge Marvel fan. I keep saying I'm sorry, but I got a feeling they're gonna see the crew again because as much as they are like an endangered species to handle, I remember Ed and Gordon did like kind of befriend a female krill. So and she's alive, so maybe they might encounter her again, and maybe there might be something, I don't know. I know Emily's not gonna spoil anything, but I kind of hope that because I want to see what's that like.
I'm just thinking of what's awaiting for you because I know what's gonna happen and I can't wait to see your reaction when it happens because you will be gasping. Like if you thought this season was so good, like it gets better and better.
I can
Like,
imagine it getting better and better.
oh
Mm.
gosh.
The one thing that really not kind of was interesting for me. So do you remember like in Lucifer, you when you first started watching season 1, you asked me like in the intro, like they always put the text in first, and you say how long they keep doing that. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I don't remember asking you that, but yeah,
But you
I know
mentioned
what
that,
you're talking
yeah.
about. Yeah.
And I just think in the intro, while the intro was good, I just feel like the intro wasn't that very interesting. Like because it's just showing, they keep showing like clips of like the Orville, and I get that it's the Orville. It's meant to be about the ship and everything. I just feel like they should have put in like the characters and everything. I hope they do that for season 2 or season 3. Like sure, like I'm not sure because I don't like no spoilers, Emily. But I hope like in season 2 or season 3 they kind of rechange the intro so they can make it not just about the Orville like the spaceship, but also about the crew members as well. Just make it a bit different, bit more spectacular, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think that's basically my point of view of the Orville now. So if Emily got any questions
I
for
mean,
me.
that is an amazing first reaction, I think. I mean, I'm just so happy. I mean, like, I was just because it was recommended to me, and then I recommended it to Grace and whoever's watched the non-spoiler review and decided to watch it since then. I don't know if anybody has, but I'm just so happy that you really enjoyed it, and I really knew that you would because, like you said, there is so much to think about. Like, I'm not talking about the whole Yaphet and Dr. Claire thing and
Oh, why
everything.
you had to bring that up?
I'm not talking about that, but I
Also,
mean like
one,
the actual issues they talk about. There's just so much.
yeah, like animal captivity, religion,
Yeah,
choice of gender. I mean, there was so
yeah,
much to think about.
yeah.
And they approached these issues really well. So not issue, but like
Hmm.
subjects really well. So I think that's one of the best things this show has ever done.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really does widen your knowledge, doesn't it? Makes you
It
think
does.
more.
And it makes you question about what we're doing in our world
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. So
I can
much
see,
for it being a comedy. There's so much more to it. So much more
yeah.
substance.
Speaking of comedy, I told this to Emily before we started it, and I remember something in episode 6. So when the boyfriend, Dow, sorry, I keep
Derulia?
forgetting his name. Pardon? Uh,
Derulia?
Julio, when he approached the ship, and then he came across Yafford,
Yaphet, yeah.
yeah, Yafford accidentally left a piece on Julio's leg, and when Julio trying to put it back, and he didn't know where to put it, and then Yafford said the most weirdest thing, and it got me laughing. I think it's probably not exactly what he said, but I think he said, "Oh, don't be afraid, man. It's not like you're trying to find my G spot or anything." I'm like, "Oh,
It's Grace's sort of humor, so I knew she would
I
like it.
was not expecting that." I mean, I know everybody's so funny, and I know they're trying to talk a bit like dirty sometimes, but what he had, the way he just said it out loud and so straight, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Oh, oh. I think he's also one of my like memorable, funniest characters ever. Oh God. But yeah,
On to
so
season two.
season 2, yeah. I
Yeah.
can't wait for that. I'll try to start as soon as I can, but
Yeah.
you need all
Right
that.
now. Right now. As soon as we're done, off you go.
So any questions, Emily? Or
No, I'm just I had a look. I had a quick look. So what did you think about where the leg was afterwards? Because they found the leg, right?
yeah, I think they found it
Because it fell.
yeah. Oh God.
I'm
I was
sorry.
not
That scene
expecting
is
that.
just
I'm
so
like,
funny.
how are you meant to attach this leg now? Because it's decapitated. You basically pull up a leg. But then it's the
Oh.
future, and they use like very high tech machines, so they did it easy peasy. Also, speaking of high tech, there was you know the episode where there was a time traveler
Hmm.
that appeared. I just remember something. Well, I was very intrigued that they introduced time travel. The what I really like about that episode is that they don't really complicate it. It's not very messy. You know, like Back to the Future or Endgame or like all that. Because usually time travel is meant to be very messy. It's meant to like, oh, you don't want to do this because you might mess up the timeline. This doesn't really focus on that. It's just say, oh, you time travel, you were meant to die, and I save you. Now I want to bring it back to my future. I'm like, and they said, oh no, we live our own lives. And I think, yeah, I mean, like again, because they only focus on like the basic storyline. They don't try to overdo it. And this is what this show does. And they've done it perfectly. They don't overdo their plots. They just keep it simple and keep it easy to follow. Even I thought this is so grateful, and it's so simple for me to follow because I thought they were gonna talk like high tech knowledge or talk about something so scientific that my brain will melt and all wouldn't follow things or follow their stuff. But they kept it so plain and easy for the audience to remember and follow. So I thought that was really good. Yeah. So and who was your favorite character in season 1?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It would either be Isaac, Fortis, or Gordon.
I mean, they're all very good in a unique way, but I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
mm,
That's
you
so
gotta admit
hard.
that Isaac is pretty good as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Oh
I was
God.
surprised. Like when I first saw him, I was like, oh no, no, I can't, no, not gonna
Mm.
go well for me. I'm not gonna really like him. But honestly, he grows
Yeah.
on you.
I gotta admit, because I knew like it's not very like the style of the show isn't very like very high budget, like like Star Trek or Star Wars. So I was thinking, is this show gonna be too tacky, too cheesy? But it's perfect. They really kept it neat, like the
Mhm.
fashion, the style, the CGI. It's really good, and I love the fact that they did so much in space. Like there's not just planets or stars. They did like anomalies. They did like bubbles or something, or like 2D flat worlds. I'm like, oh my God, this is so creative. It's really good. I got a feeling, I'm not sure they're gonna do it, but I got a feeling they're gonna do like parallel worlds in season 2 or 3, something like that. Because they just have to do parallel worlds or something, won't they? Oh, I guess I have to find out.
You do? And we're
So,
all about it in, in the season 2 reaction or season
yeah.
3.
So, yeah. So um my point of view, or my chat about season 1, guys, of the Oval. So if I have one thing to say to you, is that go ahead and watch it. It's definitely worth your time. It's funny, it's good, it makes you question a lot, not like about yourselves, but about everything that's happening to you in your real life right now. So yeah, go ahead and watch it. It's a really fun show to watch. It's really inspiring and it's very enjoyable. Definitely watch it. So I think we're gonna end it here today. But before you leave, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts on season 1 of the Orville. Who was your favorite character? What was your favorite episode? And what was the one thing that you guys enjoyed about the show? Because we would love to hear your thoughts. And please check out our other videos that we've check out Emily's non-spoiler review on the Orville. You probably don't have to watch it if you've already seen this, but check out other reviews on like Wyona Earp, Lucifer. We've done so many on different shows. We've also done Marvel, Disney, the whole lot. Check them out. And stay updated for more. We're probably gonna do another video like this on season 2 and season 3. I'm definitely gonna try to watch them as fast as I can so we can do this, but stay tuned for more. And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, the whole lot. We would definitely follow you back. It would mean the world to us. And please subscribe. Thank you so much. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.